Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're taking a look at a center console from Grady-White that is the harbinger of a whole new series, the Coastal Explorers, that combine family cruising with coastal fishing. It's the 251 CE. Let's start by looking at where she gets her handling from, the CV2 hull. This is a proprietary design from Grady-White. It starts with a 16-degree dead rise at the transom, and instead of maintaining that angle as the hull moves forward, instead, the geometry narrows as we reach the bow. Looking at the back again, note the standard hydraulic trim tabs. But there's more. She also has a heavy flare to knock down spray, and these wide chines give her the stability at rest while helping her carve through the turns. Plus, this should also aid in tracking. So let's get wet and see for ourselves. First, the numbers. This Grady-White 251 Coastal Explorer has a length overall of 24 feet 7 inches, a beam of 8.6, and a draft of 14 inches. With an empty weight of 3,550 pounds, full fuel, and 2 people, we had an estimated test weight of 5,013 pounds. With a single Yamaha F300 powering our test boat, we reached a top speed of 49.2 miles per hour at 5,700 RPM. At that speed, we were burning 26.9 gallons per hour for a range of 128 miles. Best economy came in at 3,000 RPM and 19.9 miles per hour. That turned in a fuel burn of 6.6 gallons per hour and a range of 211 miles. We reached planing speed in 2.5 seconds, hit 20 in 5.1 seconds, and cruised through 30 miles per hour in 7.8 seconds. The 251 really does have a nice riding hull. While we didn't have any noteworthy sea conditions, we did do our share of experimenting with self-generated waves and found several things that are worth sharing. First, there's that tracking. She definitely tracks better, especially in situations like quartering seas. We rode up to the wake of the camera boat and let it hit the port quarter, and sure enough, we remained straight and true with hands off the wheel when we should have been sent off in another direction. Second, crossing wakes at various angles showed that the strakes combined with the generous bow flare served quite well towards producing a dry ride. We also noticed a softer ride than expected. The ride is made even more enjoyable with this functional helm. Some key features that stood out to me: the thick scratch-resistant windshield that offered no distortion, a comfortable footrest, and the extra space on the dash. There's room enough for 2 15-inch nav screens. Now let's look at some of our onboard features, and since this is a center console, we'll start with fishing features.
The seating just ahead of the console makes a great place to ride out to the fishing grounds. To both sides of the bow are a pair of 74-quart insulated fish boxes with overboard drains.
With the optional table dropped into position, we have an elevated casting deck at the bow.
Grady-White sure does storage well. To the starboard side of the bow, tackle organizers. To the port side, storage drawer.
As we move aft, under the observer seat is a 25-gallon insulated live well. It can double as a cooler too. Across the stern, there are 2 storage areas to either side of an insulated cooler. With everything closed off and the cushions removed, we have an aft casting deck 6 feet 8 inches across. Rods can be placed in 2 flush-mounted holders in the cap rails to both sides. 4 more are behind the leaning post, and another 4 are at the back of the T-top. And it's important to note that every rod holder, even the cup holders, all have a hose underneath that takes any water inside and drains it out. Here's a much appreciated feature, a tool holder in the center of the leaning post. Below are storage drawers. Now let's see what sets her apart with the family features.
Everyone will appreciate this seat just ahead of the console. Underneath the seat is an insulated self-draining cooler. The bow area is certainly among the most comfortable I've seen on any center console. The optional table rounds out the features and makes it into an alfresco dining area. Lower the table, add a cushion, and we have a chaise lounge.
We can also move the table forward, and with the filler cushion, we can create a large sun pad.
Now both side seats will also flip up into chaise lounges, but I'd like to see them be able to go into multiple positions. At the bow, stainless steel 4-step B-tree boarding ladder, and notice the grab handle on the side.
And underneath is dedicated storage for the anchor locker.
We've seen jump seats at the back of boats before, but Grady-White has a different take on it. Theirs come up from the back, and there's even storage underneath.
Right alongside, there's a convenient freshwater shower. At the stern, there's another sun pad for use when not underway. And Grady-White offers an optional tow pylon here for water sports. Behind the port seat is a stern reboarding ladder.
Of course, the features on any family-friendly boat would not be complete without a standard porta potty.
This space offers enough room to serve as a changing station as well. All things considered, this is a boat that I wouldn't hesitate to take out well past protected inlets and into deeper water. And as for her amenities, she's better equipped than some larger boats that we've seen. And we're also impressed with her fit and finish. And that's my look at the 251 CE from Grady-White. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.